Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you're joining me for the first time today, welcome in. My name is Jessie and today we're going to be building a house for a teacher. I was really inspired by the fact that over here it has just officially become spring. We are entering our summertime and the sun is coming out and it's really warm and bright and colorful outside, and I wanted to build something that had a lot of light in it, had a lot of color. And what better than a teacher to build a cottage for? I've always wanted to build a cottage for a teacher, and well, there's a teacher but also a crazy cat lady. And I really like how this cottage came out. Like I said, it's spring over here, and I just wanted to build something that had just a really refreshing look. I've been building a lot of like cozy cottages and cozy suburbans. I have another cozy suburban coming out this week. But I want to take a break from all those cozy builds and just build something a little bit different. So I was imagining for this house that the sim that lived here was an elementary school teacher. I was kind of, if you guys have watched the movie Matilda, Miss Honey, I was kind of really inspired by her for building this house. And it is a bit bigger than I was hoping for. But in the end, I still really like how the house came together. There is a bedroom upstairs, which is the main bedroom. There are 2 bathrooms in this house, a study, and maybe like a guest bedroom slash art space. The art space is kind of where I started to get the idea that maybe this is a art teacher, and I'm thinking maybe the sim has paintbrushes in their hair. I don't think we even have that hairstyle in the Sims, but I was thinking maybe they have paintbrushes in their hair, and maybe they have paint on their clothing all the time and they're just really artistic, and that's why they decided to become an art teacher and they want to share it with the kids at school. I wish that was a career in The Sims, was maybe like an active career. I know it is a career to become a teacher at school, but I would love for that to be an interactive career. I know that's not possible because we don't have interactive schools and that would be really complicated to make, but that would have been a fun one. I don't know, I just think that would have been a really fun career to have interactive in The Sims. But going back to the house here, we can see I'm doing the floor plan. This house is really small on the inside, especially the main living space. I was originally going to put the kitchen in a different spot, but I ended up deciding to put the kitchen where I do, right there in front of the big window, because I wanted the entire living space, the downstairs living space, to be one open room. Because we got those big beautiful windows with that sunroom area, I just felt that it would have been a waste to close everything off and have the kitchen in a separate room and have it a little bit darker, especially since I like to put smaller windows in my kitchen just because of the kitchen counters. I feel like it's a lot easier. So I just decided to sacrifice the big kitchen for having like a much open plan and much more open plan and brighter kitchen with all the light coming in by the big windows. I really like how colorful and bright this house ended up being. I just think it really matches the theme that I was going for, which is spring. I'll get back to the cozy builds like I said, but for now I just want to enjoy the fact that it's spring and there's now trees blooming and everything's green and everything's come back to life over here. It's been a cold harsh winter here in South Africa, so I'm ready for sunshine. It's already getting up to, I think, 30 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I think it's like over 90 degrees Fahrenheit. But it's getting to that temperature now during the day. It's a lot cooler at night. So summer's definitely on the way. I'm looking forward to our summer and spending the time at the beach this year because the world is opening back up. So I'm excited to enjoy the summer and not spend it indoors. But here you can see I'm working on the kitchen and I'm just decorating the shelves over here. I wanted this kitchen to feel like really closed off and really cluttered and really lived in. Like there's a really good system going on because there isn't a lot of space in this kitchen, unfortunately. And you can see I'm using the red shelf, so everything is free place. So this kitchen's completely usable. Your Sims are not going to have an issue to say, hey, there's something on the counter, I can't make my garden salad. Everything should be fine. And you can see I put that little crock pot on the stove. I'm not even sure if that came with the cottage living pack or if that came with the country kitchen, but I saw another simmer. I think it was, oh, I forget the channel's name. But I saw another similar size that pot down and put it on their stove, and I thought it was a really cute idea, and so I just decided to do that. And I think it makes the home feel, I don't know, a lot more lived in, a lot more realistic. I also ended up using that shelf from, I think it's Tiny Living, if I'm not mistaken, above the fridge, just so it seemed like the sim was making use of all the square inches that they have in their kitchen. And because there's not a lot of space, like I said, so I wanted everything to feel like it was really used up. Here I'm working on the living room. I was struggling to figure out how I wanted to lay it out and what kind of furniture I wanted to use, because originally I wanted it to use some more modern furniture, but then I thought maybe the cats and dogs couches could go a little bit better. And I do actually end up sticking with those couches. Here you can see I'm using the dine out curtains. I do prefer on these bigger windows to use the tallest option for the dine out curtains and then size them down, which does seem a little backwards. But when you use the smallest wall height, the shortest wall height curtains, they are too wide in my opinion for the windows. But if you take the tallest wall height ones, size them down to, I think the number I used is 0.6, and you size them down and you just drop them down. You just adjust the elevation with, I'm using the tool mod to do this, which is an amazing mod by Twisted Mixie, and I'll link it in the description up below. If I forgot, please feel free to shout at me. But I just use the tool mod to lower down the curtains, and the pink on the curtains matches the pink on that new armchair from Cottage Living really perfectly in my opinion, which also matches that cats and dogs couch perfectly. So this entire living room was really cohesive and feels really cozy. I imagine that it would be lovely to come sit here on like a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon, and it's really bright out and you have the river and you have the ferry going along the river, and it must be really peaceful to just come sit here, curl up here with your book, or especially even if it's raining, because it is a glass roof above it, and I imagine that it would be really calming to just come and curl up here with a book and just come hang out for the day. Or in this teacher's case, maybe bring your grading homework and just come sit and grade your kids' homework over here, or school projects, and just come spend the day in this living room. I think it's really open and airy. I was struggling to pick out a window to put next to this door. I am in love with this door from the base game. I am falling in love with a few things from the base game recently. I never really played with the base game after getting a few more packs because I was just really overwhelmed. But I feel like now with the base game update, I feel like it's a lot more user friendly to go back and use some of the base game items. I feel like with the new swatches, it's just a lot more variety, than much more than there was before. And so that door has just quickly become one of my favorites, although it isn't one of the doors that was updated recently. It's just a door that I found that I really love to use. But here I'm just placing a sideboard next to the front door with a lamp, some coats, some books, and some envelopes. Maybe the bills are piling up. Maybe she's getting a few letters from the kids' parents in the mail. But I just decided to add a pile of bills over there. I'm adding the apple clock, and I think that's the Teacher of the Year award or something like that. I don't know. It had an apple on it. I associate apples with teachers, and so it just kind of made sense to put it in there. And here is sort of where I decided that this teacher was a crazy cat lady too, because here I'm putting down the bookshelf and I was struggling to find out what to put on top of the bookshelf, and I ended up on these adorable cat statues. If you don't know, I have 2 cats. I have 3 cats in IRL. I have a grey one and 2 black ones, and I often include these statues in my builds. If you see me place down some cats in a build, it's usually a statue of one of my cats. I also have a friend who has a ginger cat that I also include in every build. But that was sort of where I decided, you know what, no, this lady is going to have a cat and she's going to be a crazy cat lady, and I'm just going to put cat beds and cat trees everywhere. So I think there are a total of 3 cat trees and 2 cat beds in this build, which is a lot. I don't know how many cats she has because I only put down 1 food bowl. So if you do play in this house and you do have a lot of cats, then you might want to place down a few more food bowls. I also did put the food bowl on the counter in the kitchen. And I don't know how usable that is. I don't know if that is functional. But here is on the bathroom. And I took that cats and dogs cabinet. Yes, cabinet. And I sized it down and it fit perfectly into this bathroom. I often have been finding out that I tend to make my bathrooms really small and not really decorated. And so I really wanted to go all out with the bathrooms in this build. And here I'm moving on to the office area. I decided to paint the walls a happy yellow color and put some big beautiful blue curtains in here. This office I wanted to feel really used and overrun and really cozy. I feel like this is the only dark room in the house because there's a lot of bookcases everywhere, there's a lot of books everywhere. Maybe the teacher actually doesn't come in here all that often. Maybe this space just stresses her out and she doesn't want to spend a lot of time in this room because it's how dark it is and how cluttered it is. I put books everywhere because I felt like maybe she studied a lot, maybe she was always doing research. This is still when I was thinking that this was a history teacher. And with history teachers, you know, they're often doing a lot of research, a lot of reading. And I wanted this to be their study, but I wanted the study to feel really messy because maybe they don't have everything together. Maybe they are really overworked. Yeah, they've got a lot of cats. They've got a lot of work to do. And they're trying to run the household on their own. And well, maybe they don't live here on their own. The son that I was picturing lives here on their own with all their cats. So maybe they don't have time to keep everything neat and tidy. And sometimes things just get away from you. And one small pile of books kind of just steamrolls into many piles of books. And before you know it, your entire room is a mess. I added even a cat bed onto the desk. I don't know about you guys, but I love it when my cats sleep on my desk. I've currently got a box on my desk that my cats sleep in, and it's got a couple of blankets in it because they like to spend time with me on the desk, and sleeping in a box is one of their favorite things, which I find really funny because my one cat actually, she's a little chunky and she broke the box a little bit, so I had to tape it back together, but don't tell her. It's fine. We don't say anything. We don't see anything. It's totally fine. But over here, I just put down a cushy little round bed because I imagine the cats love to just come and snooze. And I put a cat poster on the wall that looks like my friend's cat over there. She's a ginger little cat and her name is Nora and she's really, really cute. So I'm inspired to just add cats everywhere. And I think that they are absolutely the best partners to have in real life because I don't know what I'd do without my cats. But I'm rambling about my cats and not about the build right now. But you can see I'm just placing down lots of books and lots of piles and making the office feel really messy and lived in. I used every type of book item that we have in The Sims that I could think of. I even used that coffee table, I think it's from Cats and Dogs, which is like a trunk with books on top of it. I even used that item everywhere because I was just trying to make everything feel really lived in. Lots of books, very studious teacher. I want this teacher to feel like if they were at Hogwarts, they would be a Ravenclaw. Always studying, always learning, always asking questions. That's kind of the vibe I wanted to go for. And I just want to take a second to talk about the update that recently came out. I am absolutely in love with the fact that they updated those curtains from the kids' room. Well, it's not from the kids' room, but it was originally those curtains that had the rainbows and the stars, and there was like an animal scene on it too. I love the fact that they updated that with all the swatches. I'm not a fan of all the swatches, I will say. They are a little strong, they are a little harsh, but using the white swatch in more like grown-up places and places around the house, I just love how they look and how much easier they are to use. I feel like curtains are something that we are desperately lacking in The Sims, and I just love the fact that now we have a lot more variety. I think they also added some swatches to one of like the roll-up blinds, if I'm not mistaken, and I just love the variety. It was a massive update. I wasn't expecting it. I want to do a base game build just so that we can use all the swatches, and I think that it's not very hard to build a base game house. I've seen some amazing base game builds, and I don't think it's that hard. So I'm hoping to attempt that in the future, because I'd love to bring that to the channel, and I don't think I've done an all base game build in quite a while. The last one I did was for my cousin. They are a little bit younger than me. They only have the base game and they play on console. So they often ask me to build them houses. And so that the last one I must have done for them is at the beginning of the year, and we are in October now. So I think I'm gonna have to do a base game build sometime soon. Let me know in the comments what kind of build you'd like to see me attempt with the base game only challenge. Is it a challenge? I don't think you can consider it a challenge at this point to build with the base game. With all the updates that are coming, I think that we have a lot of variety to choose from in the game, and a lot of different styles are all inclusive. So if you have an idea for what you'd like to see me build, please let me know. Here we are working on the upstairs, and this upstairs area, I was struggling to figure out what to put up here at first. I cut that part out, but I was struggling a little bit here because I was considering, do I want to add another bedroom? Do I want to add another office? What do I want to put up here? And I was just feeling a little lost, so I decided instead to put a second living room space up here. And I wanted to feel a little bit more cozy. I know the downstairs area is very bright, very open, very light and airy, but I wanted something that was a bit more cozy, a little bit warmer, somewhere if you don't want to just chill in the light and you want to hang out in so much brightness and you just want to kind of curl up. I decided to also put a fireplace up here, which this fireplace actually lines up with the outside, which is amazing for me. It almost never happens. The chimneys on the side of my houses are usually just decorative, but for once it actually lines up, and I'm pretty impressed with myself. And of course I defaulted to the paranormal couch for this upstairs area. This paranormal couch, after all the time and after all the updates, this paranormal couch is by far still my favorite couch to use in The Sims. It's just so cozy with the blankets and the pillows. I feel like it's a fan favorite. I feel like everybody loves that couch. Couch? Sofa? Either way, it's beautiful and I just love to use it. I think it's really, really cozy. Here I'm working on the master bedroom. I wanted this to be really pink and neutral and bright and airy, although it is again really cluttered and really messy. I feel like this teacher is secretly a messy person. Like, they keep appearances up and they look like they have everything put together, but maybe everything's just a little messy and a little bit chaotic on the inside and secretly. And there you can see I put a book next to the bed. Maybe they are journaling, maybe they are organizing their lessons, maybe they are creating some homework just before bed. I just wanted this room to feel really naturally and lived in and carry on the vibe from the office downstairs, which is messy and lots of books everywhere. Like, this teacher has a lot of research to do. Maybe they are aspiring to be a professor someday. I don't know. I also included the parenthood board in this bedroom, and although it doesn't make a lot of sense, I thought maybe that would be where they are organizing their lessons and arranging their schedule for the week, planning out what they're going to do, and maybe that's just how they keep track of everything. I was struggling to figure out what to put on this wall, and I ended up going with my favorite poster. It's from Snow Escape. It looks exactly like my cat Luna. It's a really chunky cat that looks really happy, and I include that in all my builds or screen, and every single house that I play in when I'm streaming has that poster in it, and I just can't resist it. So I decided to add just another cat poster, and I figured this would have something like that in their house. And they would have a poster, like a cartoon version of the cat up on their wall. I would do that in real life. Let me know if you guys would ever get art commissioned of your cat and hang it up on your wall, like a caricature. Is that the word? Of your cat? I don't know if I said that right. Caricature. I think so. It sounds right. I'm not totally sure. Here you can see I'm adding another cat tree upstairs, because if you have somewhere to sit, the cats need somewhere to sit. And there are lots of closets also all over this house. I feel like this house has a ton of storage and a ton of potential. If you wanted to convert this into a family home, that's definitely possible. I mean, there are 2 bedrooms downstairs, there's 2 bathrooms, one on either floor, and there's also the upstairs area where there's a living room. You can convert that into a bedroom. So this house could easily be a 4-bedroom 2-bathroom house if you wanted it to be. It would just take a little bit of finagling to get it to be a full family house. But here I'm just decorating the outside, putting the little last touches on it, and that brings us to the end of the video. If you guys have at any point enjoyed this build, remember to leave a like, comment about what kind of build I should do when I do my base game only build. And thank you guys so much for watching, and have a lovely day, and remember to stay kind. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.